Have you ever been offered a crazy opportunity and you felt perhaps that you're either not good enough for it or you just felt like it's too crazy for me? Well, I've had this exact opportunity offered to me a few days ago because I went to the White House of Prince Zelensky of Poland. And what happened was that he was organizing a beauty contest. Okay. Now, obviously, I'm not a beauty contest type of girl, and I'm also kind of like older as well. But he did have a category for women over 35 where I could have applied, of course. And and then, for a second, I thought, I should apply for that. It's almost like I had this hunch that I should apply for it, that I should apply for it, despite the fact that, I'm not, model material. And then I kind of like put that at the back of my head and thought, no, this is just like for beautiful girls and, they should apply and, otherwise people will laugh at me and things like that. Right. And what happens is that, a few hours before the event, I just had this light bulb, this kind of like light bulb come, and my kind of like light bulb came and it said something like, you know what, this could be a really good marketing opportunity because, a lot of people, hundreds of people were going to be there. And then I thought, you know what, I'm going to do something crazy. I'm going to go and buy a dress. Okay. So I went out and I bought a dress and it did look spectacular, of course. But I went to the event. There were about 300 people. Okay. So really good audience. And then it turns out that the participants were like really, not, overly like, what I mean? They were not beauty models type girls anyway. So I thought, you know what, I could actually have a chance in here. But the point of the story isn't that. Okay, the point of the story is that it turned out that it was too late. And the reason for that was because I decided a few hours before the event. Okay. And had I, messaged a couple of days before, I could have been in. And what happened was there were so many people there, like 300 people, and we were like all gathered around. And I pretty much couldn't even see the contest because there were so many people. And every girl who did participate in the contest was introduced, okay, with like, this is Sandra, she works in the media, this is whatever, So it could have been a really great marketing opportunity for me and my business, of course, and especially in front of, very distinguished guests. And the point of the story, why I'm telling you this, is that sometimes, have you ever had this opportunity, this crazy opportunity that almost feels like, this is for some other people, who are good, who are beautiful, who are, who know stuff, who, you know what I mean? And it just feels like it's not for me because I'm not good enough in this way or that way, or I don't have this or I don't have that. And it turns out that, I'm looking and I think I could have a chance, I really could have a chance in here. So, so what I'm trying to say is that sometimes you could be a lot better than you think, okay? And especially when it comes to you writing and publishing a book. I've had meetings sometimes with investors, okay? And these investors were like, but I don't feel like I'm good enough for this. I'm thinking, what? You must be joking, okay? I've worked with housewives. I've worked with, people who had nothing. And you think you have nothing to offer to the world in terms of publishing a book? It's ridiculous, okay? So I'm trying to say that, if you're someone who is, considering a book, but you put it on the back burner because you think you're not good enough, well, reconsider, because you could well be good enough to publish a book. And if there's a good topic for you to publish, I'll tell you that I will find it, because that's what I do, okay? So if I could find a topic for a housewife, I can certainly find one for you. And consider publishing a book, because you are good enough. You are good enough because you know stuff that other people don't know. And in the same way that you think, oh, but others are better, others have written this, you know, a million times, and there's so many books about this topic. True, but do they have your angle? Do they have your knowledge? Do they have your expertise and your passions and your skills? I don't think so. Okay, so if you are considering writing a book, all you have to do is contact me, or simply say me at the bottom of this video, okay?